Good morning. This lesson is for my trig pre-calc class, but before I get started, I want to say I hope that everyone's doing all right out there. I'm not sure how I'm going to title this, but I'll title it how I title it in the title. What I am sure of is our one goal for the day. And our one and only goal is to write the domain and the range of bounded graphs, which is a very mathematical statement. To say it in everyday terms is to basically explain what the graph is between. All right? And now we're going to have a toolbox that we're going to use to mathematically write what the domain and range is for these bounded graphs. So to mathematically say between, we use the following sets of compound inequalities. Compound means that there's two. All right? So I could have two strictly less than, one less than or equal, and then a less than, one less than equal, and a less than or equal, or both less than or equal. All right, so these are the only possibilities of what we're going to use, and it depends on if we have a closed circle or open circle. Now on the far left side, these numbers are the left or lower bound numbers. So whatever my graph is on the left, or the lower part of the graph, I'm going to use these. What goes between my inequality symbols is either going to be an X if I'm describing a horizontal, what it's between horizontally, or a Y if I'm describing what it's between vertically. And the numbers on the outside here, these numbers are the right or upper boundary numbers. Okay, so what is to the what is bounded on the right or below. All right. So again, it is good practice to use words to first explain what you see, then make the observation mathematical. Horizontal is domain, and vertical is the range. So here I have two examples, example 1, example 2. And so the directions are to state the domain and the range of the following. So I would recommend that you hit pause and try and explain what this graph is between horizontally and what it is between vertically. So I would hit pause and see how you do. Hopefully you hit pause and you're back, and let's see if we are in agreement. So to me, horizontally, the graph is between -3 and 2. So it's between -3 and 2. -3 would be my left boundary, and +2, that would be my right boundary. Let's look at this thing vertically now. Okay? And it looks to me that this graph is between -2 and +2. All right, so now I know what my graph is between, and now I'm just going to make it more mathematical. So here I have a closed circle on the left side. So that means I must use this symbol, right? So it's got to be either of these two. And on the right side, it's an open. So by default, I'm using this compound inequality to explain the domain. So the domain, my left boundary number is -3. It's less than or equal because it's closed. I'm talking about a horizontal description, so I use X, and that's less than or equal, less than, strictly less than 2. So I'm saying that my graph horizontally is between -3 and 2. Now I'd like to talk about the range. So the range, again, let's look at what we got. The lower number is open, so that means that I have to either use this symbol or this symbol. My upper number is closed, so see I'm using these two, so I have to use this one because the upper number will be closed. So the range, the lower boundary number is -2. It's at the open, so I'm using that, right? I have to use a Y because I'm doing a vertical description. And I'm going to use the less than or equal because it's closed. And my upper boundary number is +2. So that would be the description of a bounded graph for example 1. Why don't you try and put in words what you see for example 2? I hope that you hit pause and give it a shot. I hope that you've done it. And let's go ahead and give this a shot. Okay, so horizontally, to me it looks like the graph goes like this. And the graph horizontally looks to be between -4, and +4. All right, vertically, this one's a little tricky because we're gonna probably want to stop a little too soon. But remember, we have to go all the way to the top. And to me, this looks like it's between, sorry, right over that, it's between -4 and +3. -4 and +3. Now, I'll talk about that in a second. Let's go ahead and make this more mathematical for our domain. So, the domain on the left starts with an open and ends with a closed. So I need to start with an open, end with a close. I need to use the X because I'm talking about the horizontal description as I throw my pen on the ground. All right, so the domain horizontally closed, and it's an X, and then it's open. My left boundary number is -4. My right boundary number is +4, so that would be the compound inequality that explains this graph horizontally. Now I'd like to explain this graph vertically. It goes from an open, this is closed. Remember, any point on a graph is considered a closed point. So I go from an open to a closed. So I'm using that version. My lower number is -4. So it goes -4 is less than y because it's a vertical. And then that's less than or equal to because it's up to here, and that's at a 3. So this is how we can write the domain and range of bounded graphs, or in more simpler terms, explain what the graph is between. So hopefully this helps. And I think I'm going to end it here. I don't want to give away too much about the next lesson, but we'll stop here. All right, so again, I hope everybody is doing all right out there. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.